Hi there and welcome to your yoga class. Today we're focusing on your core and a little bit on the legs as well, but we're going to start off as normal with a little bit of breathing. So finding a nice comfy seated position, just start to relax your body, loosen off your shoulders and your jaw, nice straight spine. And you're going to take some nice big deep breaths in through your nose and out through your nose as well. And when we're exhaling, we're trying to really sort of activate our core when we're doing it. So really feeling our tummy button lifting back to our spine. And then once we inhale, we just let it all relax out again. So focusing on your core whilst you're breathing. Nice deep breaths. So we're going to do a nice invigorating warm-up exercise here from Kundalini Yoga. You're going to clasp your hands out in front and you're going to inhale on the way up and exhale on the way down, quite forcefully, okay, through your nose as well. So sitting nice and comfortably, you're inhaling in the way up, exhaling in the way down. So that's how quickly we're wanting to go. We're going to do this for about a minute, okay? So getting yourself nice and ready, nice comfy position, and off we go. So you're inhaling and exhaling quite rapidly in time with your arms, and you're forcing that air out with the exhale as well. So it's really good for warming your core up, and keep going. So keep going, not long to go now. I know your shoulders might be feeling a little bit fatigued now. And then once you're done, just rest your hands on your knees and just notice what's going on. Any tingling, any sensations, notice how invigorated your body feels. It's not only warmed up your muscles, it's invigorated your whole system with that breathing technique and activated your core as well. And just sit and just feel it for a wee second or two. And we're going to start by dropping our right ear over to our right shoulder. Now you can have a helping hand there from your right hand, and you can also just pop your left fingertips out like that as well, just elongating the stretch, just feeling a nice stretch on your neck. Then of course doing the same on the other side, so just dropping your ear over, tilting your chin up a little bit as well so you're not dropping your head. Same thing, little helping hand if you want with that left hand, and you can put those right fingertips out if you want. It's always an option. Feel the stretch up the side of your neck. So we're going to start with some nice side bends here. So raising your left arm up and an inhale. That's it. Inhaling in the way up, exhaling in the way over. Inhale to lift the hand up, exhale to bring it over. Keeping that spine nice and straight, not leaning over, getting a nice wee flow going here. Feeling that super duper stretch up your side body. So then we're going to come on to your hands and knees. Remember your shoulders above your wrists and your hips above your knees. You can tuck your toes or keep them flat. We're going to do some cat-cows here. So inhaling in the way up and exhaling when your head comes down. So inhaling, push that tummy towards the floor. Exhale, chin in towards your chest and really push your upper back up towards the ceiling. And again, try and make it more of a flow, nice and rhythmic, just at the speed that you want to go at. So from here, just coming up to your downward dog, just making sure that your hands are shoulder width apart, feet are hip width apart, and you can pedal it out here. Feel that stretch in your calves and your hamstrings as well, lifting that tailbone up, looking towards the back of your mat. Remember, you can bend your knees here if you need to as well. And what we're going to do is we're come forward to a plank here. So really push into the ground here, really feel yourself strong, and back to downward dog. So on an inhale, you're going to come forward, pushing the mat away, and then in the exhale, you're coming back up, staying nice and strong. Inhale, coming forward, exhale, coming back up. That's it, keeping it nice and slow and controlled. Pushing those heels back as well. And then stretching out in downward dog again. So this time when you come forward for your last one, go onto your tiptoes, see how far you can push forward. If that's too much, you don't need to do that. But just for your last one, go onto your tiptoes and push forward if you want. Then from here, we're coming back to a tabletop and coming forward to puppy dog pose. So that means walking the hands forward, but keeping the hips where they are. See how they're just above my knees there? Try and keep them just right on top of the knees. And you're leading with the chest towards the floor. So it's a nice shoulder stretch, this one actually. And then from there, you're coming into Sphinx pose. So right on to your tummy, knees and ankles and legs. Everything on the floor, pressing your pelvis into the floor. And your arms can be at a 90-degree angle like mine are. Or if that's too much, you can just work them forward a wee bit. So we're going to do some baby cobras, so hands and arms off the floor, and you're just going to come up and inhale and exhale, coming down. So 3 of these, nice and gently. Then making a wee pillow with your hands. We're going to activate the legs now. So on an inhale, lifting your heels up as much as they'll lift. And thighs as well, no bending of the knees. That's it. Really nice for strengthening the back and the core and the backs of the legs as well. Just bringing them up as far as you can manage. Just relaxing back down. Now from here we're going to push up to plank, so really get your hands ready. So pushing up as much as you can. You might get up in a oneie, you might come to your knees, that's okay. Into plank. Remember, pushing those heels back as much as you can, and you're no bottoms up and weak cores. Stay nice and strong, pushing the mat away here. Really pushing it in. You might feel a bit shaky. That's also okay. Then coming up to a downward dog again. So really stretch it out and lift your right leg up. Bend your knee, feeling that hip opening up as well. And then from there, squaring off the leg again, and you're going to bring it in as close to your right tricep as you can. Coming up again to 3-legged dog. Then this time you're going to bring it across your left tricep or elbow. As much as you can, doesn't need to get there. And then up again. Then this time we're going to bring the leg forward and between our hands. If it stops halfway, you don't get there, that's fine. Just pick it up and bring it forward into our low lunge. So, down on your back knee, reaching your hands up. Just feeling your spine lengthen. Then bringing both your hands down onto the mat and coming into your half splits. So have that heel in front on the mat, toes pointing up, and feel the big stretch on your hamstrings at the back. Lovely. So coming forward, bending that front knee again. Now that back foot's coming to about 45 degrees, and you're coming into warrior 2. Nice and strong, hips opening to the side. That front knee's nice and open, and then we're going to reverse. We're going to do a bit of a dancing warrior. Reversing it, but we're going to be using our obliques here. So notice the way my arms are, and then you come into a sort of extended side angle pose, but you're not resting on anything. So we're going to do a few of these. Inhaling and coming back, exhaling, coming forward, and at no point are you leaning, your legs are strong, and we're actually using our obliques to get into the position and try and get a nice wee flow going. It can feel a bit strange if you've not done it before. That's it, and you're looking up to the ceiling when you're in reverse warrior, and also when you're in extended side angle. So what you're going to do now is come and put your hands together and step to the front of the mat, but keep that left leg up in the air. Okay, now you can stay here if you want to, or you can do a bit of a different variation. So what you can do is you can point your toe. We're going to lower it to the mat and inhale, lift it, exhale, come down. Inhale, lift it, exhale, come down. You can still be balancing on that foot with the knee stationary if you want to. So back to that position, we're going to come into warrior 3. So focus on a point in front of you. You might not go all the way forward. Just do the best you can. And you can also use blocks for this in front of you. Or you can use a wall as well if it's a little bit unsteady. But feel that standing leg nice and strong. Try not to grip the mat with your toes. And then just pop that back foot down on the mat. And we're going to square our hips off to the front, hands on our hips for pyramid pose. Lengthen the spine in the inhale and then exhale, fold forward. Now you can stay here or you can put your hands on the floor. Up to you. Just feeling the back of that front leg nice and stretched, letting your body sink into it and just keeping your breathing going. So we're just going to put our hands on our hips now and push into our feet and come up nice and strong. That's it. So feet together, big toes together, heels apart, and coming into your chair pose again. Remembering to send your hips and your knees back. You can look up if you want, or you can look straight ahead. And then hands to the floor, forward fold. You can keep your knees bent up into your fingertips, then plant the hands and back to plank, just pausing there and lowering down, pausing before you hit the floor if you want to, and coming up to upward dog or cobra, tucking the toes, and then coming up to downward dog, pedaling those feet again if you want to. So raising that left leg up and bending your knee, feeling that hip opening, squaring the leg off again, then knee to left tricep, or as close as you can get, leg straight again on the inhale, exhale, twist a knee to the other elbow, leg square again, and this time we're going to look straight through our hands and bring our foot forward to between our hands into low lunge, sinking your hips down, tucking your tailbone, nice heavy tailbone, looking up in a nice stretch. And then bringing your hands to either side of your foot, coming onto your heel and toes pointing up and stretching that hamstring with your hips back. Then what we're going to do is come forward, plant our back foot 45 degrees and come up to a warrior pose. Warrior 2. Sinking down, relaxing your shoulders. And then we're going to come into a dancing warrior, which means coming into that variation of peaceful warrior, but not resting your hand in the back of your thigh. And then the same, almost an extended side angle pose, but not resting the elbow. Inhaling on the way up into peaceful warrior, exhaling on the way down. And your obliques are really doing a lot of the work here because we're not resting our arms anywhere, and they're firing up and stretching, allowing us to do this pose and get into a nice rhythm with your breath and your movement, and your legs aren't moving at all. Strong. So back to warrior 2, and then we're going to step up to the front of the mat and keep that left leg off the ground like we did before. Now you can stay here and you can hold on as well, remember, and you can point the toe and raise your hands. And then you're going to exhale, lower the toe and the hands, and then inhale, fire up the quad again, and don't lean back, okay? Keep that chest up high, inhaling up again, and then exhaling back down again, up again, and then bending the knee, prayer position. So warrior 3 again. Now remember, you can hold on to do these, but sending the heel back, sending the front of the body forward and planting through that standing leg. Focusing on a point in front of you. That's it. And gently, what you're going to do is just pop that back foot on the floor. So front foot pointing forward, back foot about 45 degrees, but your hips are squared off to the front. We're going to do that pyramid pose again. So inhaling and lengthening, and then hinging forward from the hips. And you can stop wherever you need to stop, or you can put your hands to the floor and increase the stretch. So wherever you are, coming up, putting your hands up into your chair position, stepping forward. Remember, big toes together, heels slightly apart, or if it's easier for you, feet hip width apart. Then folding forward, straightening the spine, then coming back to our plank pose again. Lowering down, pausing if you want to, coming up to upward dog or cobra, and downward dog. Feeling how that downward dog feels now. And then the right leg's going to come up again, just keeping your hips square, and you're going to come straight through, put it as close as you can to between your hands, and coming up into high lunge this time, so watching that front knee doesn't go in front of the toes. And then you're going to hinge from the hips, so you're getting a lovely straight line from those hands to your heel there. Your core's really having to do a lot of work here, and your legs aren't changing as usual, they're just staying the same. That's it, bringing your hands to the floor. And then what we're going to do is you're really going to fire up that front leg. You can use blocks as well if you want, or a wall or a bit of sturdy furniture. That's it, you're really going to push into that front leg and come up to standing splits, okay? Then curl down, bend the left leg, that's it, and back up again. Curl down, back up again. So you're really working that left leg as well. That's it, coming down, lowering the hips and firing back up again as well. And coming into chair pose nice and easily again. Remembering to keep your weight in your heels for that one. Then slowly squatting down, we're going to come straight into Navasana. Okay, now your tiptoes can be in the floor here if it's too much, but what we're going to do is twist to the side, right knee in, left leg out straight. Then we're going to inhale and come back into the middle again, and do the same to the other side. To twist to the left knee comes in, right leg goes out long. Keeping that core nice and tight and remembering to breathe. Crossing your legs over, and we're going to come back to plank pose. That's it, lowering down, pausing if you want to, coming to cobra or upward dog, and back to downward dog. Now, the other leg's turn. Right leg goes up to three-legged dog and high lunge on this side. Letting your tailbone drop, feeling heavy, feeling the stretch between your legs. Hinging forward again. That's it, legs don't move. Lovely straight line. Having the control, having the breathing as well. Then hands come to the floor. Remember, you can use your blocks. And we're going to fire up that left leg. Right leg is in the air. And then come down. Up to standing splits again. That's it. Curling down. And coming up. And then coming into chair position again. Here we are again. Do come down lower if you can, but don't compromise your chair position. Squatting down, straight into Navasana. Twisting to the right, right knee in, left leg long. Inhale to the middle and to the other side as well. Left knee in. And then again we cross our legs, hands on the floor, and coming back to downward dog this time. Stretching it out. Wrapping your shoulders round as if your armpits are trying to face each other. Lifting your tailbone high, and then we're coming forward to a side plank. So you're on your right arm here and you've swiveled your feet round, and then what we're going to do is come onto our elbow on the left hand side, but a forearm plank this time. Okay, then we're going to shift over and you're sort of windscreen wipering those legs at the back and doing a left forearm plank, and then straight from there you're coming back onto both elbows but walking your feet in to come to dolphin pose as much as you can. You'll find it may be a challenge to come onto your heels here, and inhaling, lift your heels up as much as you can. Exhale, down again. You're doing that 3 times. Inhale, lifting the hips, heels up. Exhale, coming down again. And quite a challenging one, this one, so you can go onto your knees if you need to as well. Okay, so coming down onto your knees. Time for a little rest, but not too much of a rest. 3 breaths in child's pose here. Just enough to collect yourself. So hands on the mat again, tucking those toes up into downward dog again. Remember, hands are shoulder width apart, feet hip width apart. So we're going to do those planks again. So we're coming onto the left hand side, but you're on your hand on the left hand side, feet are windscreen wipered, then onto your forearm on the right hand side, side plank, hand straight up in the air, and then we're going to transition onto the other side again. So can be quite hard work, so just do the best that you can. Other side, windscreen wiper in the legs, core having to work hard, then both forearms on the floor, walking those feet in to dolphin pose. Don't worry about the heels, and remember we're inhaling, lifting the heels, exhaling, pressing them down. Inhaling, lifting them up, and exhaling, pressing them down 3 times. So next we're going to take our block and come onto our back. Okay, you're going to put your block between your knees. Don't worry if you've not got a block, you can use a cushion, or you don't have to use anything if you don't have it in to hand. Feet are about foot width away from the bottom, and you're going to exhale and raise your bottom up into bridge pose, relaxing your shoulders, lifting your pelvis up and lifting your tailbone up and forward as well, all the while squeezing that block. Gently lowering back down, vertebrae by vertebrae, and then you're going to take your block and then put it onto your sacrum. You might need to fidget about a bit with this to get it in the right place, but make sure it's secure. And we're going to lift our legs up, feet flat. Now you might want to hold on to the block or have your hands to the side, and what we're going to do is lower our legs as much as we can. Now that might not be the same for everybody, so just stretching your legs up. You're going to exhale, just take them down a bit to begin with, and then inhale back up. See how that is on your lower back? If it's fine, you can come down further each time. We're doing it quite a few times, 10 times in total. So coming down, the most I want you to come down is about 6 inches off the floor, but if your lower back starts to come off at that point, don't come down as far. So we're lowering and raising, lowering on an exhale, raising on an inhale. And this is accessing those really deep abdominal muscles. Really effective for your abdomen, keeping your breath in time with your movement and only going as far as is accessible for you. No pain, no pinching, anything like that. And when you're done, just pop your feet on the floor and you can remove that block. Feel how much space there is now if you've been using the block. And we're going to have a reverse pigeon pose. So cross that right ankle over the left knee, and if you want to, you can hold on to the thigh. Keep both feet flexed to protect the joints. So all the while sending that right knee away. You should feel a huge big opening there in that right hip, really deep. So breathe into it. So from here, we're going to cross that right leg further over, shift your hips a little bit to the right, arms in a T position, and drop your knees over for a lovely wee spinal twist. Now remember, the knees don't need to come to the floor here, as long as your shoulder blades are on the floor. As if your shoulder blades are on the floor, you're getting a twist if your legs are over to the side. So just do what you can and relax. Feel the release and feel the lovely stretch on your spine and your abdominal muscles. Really nice rotation of the spine in this position. So we need to do the other side now. So left leg up, sending that left knee away. If you want to, hold on to the thigh. You can hold on to the shin as well, but all the while trying to send that left knee away, because that'll encourage the opening of the hip, and breathe into it, remember. So again, bringing your legs down, crossing that left leg over even a bit more. Arms in T position, hips shifted to the left a little bit, and drop the knees. And this should feel really nice and releasing. Shouldn't be painful. And as I say, only drop the knees as much. You can always put a block under the knees as well. So coming back up, we're now going to just have a short shavasana. So legs out to the side of the mat, hands out by your sides, tops of the hands on the floor, remember, and just settle in. And remember, this is your body's chance to relax and restore and get all the goodness from the practice that you've just done. Give your body a chance to digest what you've just done and gain all the benefit from it. And it's a good moment to have to yourself as well. So we're just going to relax and feel heavy on the mat. Let your breathing do whatever it does naturally, and just enjoy the next couple of minutes. So starting to deepen your breath now and start to invite a little bit of movement back in, wriggling the fingers and toes maybe. Starting to think about moving and sitting up, but taking your time doing that. letting your body waken up in the most natural way that it can. Just maybe putting your hands above your head and having a stretch, and then coming onto your side to pause just for a second before sitting up completely. Sitting with your legs crossed and your hands at your heart, just sitting for a little minute as well, just appreciating how you feel, how your body is different from how it was at the beginning of the practice. Thank you so much for joining me in my practice. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it has helped you. And just sitting with a little bit of stillness, just to complete our practice today. And then we say namaste. Thank you so much for joining me again in this core and legs practice. Always nice to see you. Please do subscribe and like and comment as well on the page, and I'll see you for the next class.